Psalm 130, and the theme is decrease. I'll just read the psalm, and you'll pick up this theme all the time of the decreasing of the person. Out of the depths, so he's in the depths, out of the depths have I cried unto thee, O Lord. You may be reminded of Jonah in the belly of the fish. Lord, hear my voice. Let thine ears be attentive to the voice of my supplications. If thou, Lord, shouldst mark iniquities, O Lord, who should stand? He's aware of his iniquities. But there is forgiveness with thee, that thou mayest be feared. I wait for the Lord. My soul doth wait, and in his word do I hope. My soul waiteth for the Lord more than they that watch for the morning. I say more than they that watch for the morning. You can feel the yearning of his heart here. He's decreasing. Let Israel hope in the Lord, for with the Lord there is mercy, and with him is plenteous redemption. And he shall redeem Israel from all his iniquities. End of the psalm. But you see the theme of decreasing, of being emptied, of coming to an end of himself. Daniel prophesied about the tribulation of the last days, and he told us why God would bring this on the earth. And one of the most interesting things is, quote, to break the power of the holy people. Now, who are the holy people? They are the Jews, Daniel's own people, and those also who are grafted into the Jews, the Christians, grafted into the Jewish mind through the Messiah Jesus. We must all have our power, our natural power broken, not just the Jews, but Christians as well. Without the death of self, with its energy, its ideas, its confidence, its strength, there can be no resurrection. Death must come first. But as Paul said, for me to live is Christ, to die is gain. And he said it triumphantly, not resignedly. It was no consolation prize, the way people say, well, you can only pray, as though that shows what dire straits you're in if you're praying. It should be the first thing we do, and the gain that we shall receive for dying, whether physical death or the death of self and selfishness, should fill us with joy unspeakable and full of glory. The Bible says that joy comes in the morning, but it doesn't say that we have to wait until the morning. They can do early deliveries, you know. It just costs us a little bit more. Jesus said, unless a seed of wheat falls into the ground and dies, it remains alone. But if it dies, it brings forth much fruit. And so, in this Psalm 130, we really detect the stirrings of joy within the dead seed. Israel cries from the depths, the deep places, like Jonah in the fish, like the seed does in the ground. This speaks of failure, maybe even disaster, maybe something worse than happened in southern Israel recently when Hamas invaded Jewish homes. We all need deliverance, Jew and Christian. And in the previous psalm, the prayer was for deliverance from enemies without. In this psalm, the prayer is for deliverance from enemies within, our iniquities. We need forgiveness. We need mercy. We need help from God. And that's what this psalm is all about. The decreasing of the person, the strength of the person. Distresses often come to us, Israel and the church, in order to deepen our awareness of sin and our need of God's mercy. We cannot be reminded of that too often. It's a startling fact that we learn the deepest lessons in affliction. Our hearts begin to condemn us. We bring to mind our many failures, and we look then for his gracious, forgiving love. As the psalmist said, we wait upon the Lord. Now, what else can a dead person do? Or better still, what is required of a baby in the moments before it's born? Nothing. The baby doesn't receive all sorts of instructions, at least not by human beings. The mother does all the work. The baby may even be reluctant to leave the safety and security it has enjoyed for its entire life. Just like us, we tend to make our way from one haven of security to another, and every time God has to break open the roof and let in the rain in order to move us on. Let Israel and the church hope in the Lord, our Redeemer, Verse 8, the God of glory thundereth. The Lord is upon many waters. That's in Psalm 29, verse 3. And turbulent waters are a symbol of troubles. And Jesus came walking on the water with not a care in the world. What Israel is learning in this stage of the journey through Jacob's trouble is that God is in charge of the storm that is breaking upon them, and they need to look only unto him. He is jealous for their love and trust. Remember, we passed the halfway mark of the 15 Psalms, and I mentioned that the tone changes. And here, in these Psalms, we truly see the power of the holy people is falling apart through the successive blows of adversity that God has allowed to break upon them. The roof of their security, insofar as they trust in themselves, is being torn apart. The lesson is being deeply impressed upon them. And the final two verses lead perfectly into the next psalm. These two verses are, let Israel hope in the Lord, for with the Lord there is mercy, and with him is plenteous redemption. What a wonderful phrase. And he shall redeem Israel from all his iniquities. This is the word of the Lord. Shalom, Shalom, Israel. Pray for the peace of Israel.